I was deep into a Zoom pitch, my screen packed with execs ready to sign $1 million deal, when the pounding started, not a knock, but a relentless hammer on my front door. Loud enough to drown out my voice and make my boss wince. There, through the window, stood Cynthia Hargrove, the HOA queen of Maplewood Grove, clipboard in hand, demanding my house's security code like she owned the place, oblivious that I was about to turn her scam into her downfall. That moment, with my dog Rusty growling low and my career hanging by a thread, I felt a surge, not just anger, but the kind of clarity you get when you know you're done playing nice. I'm Ryan Kessler, 38. A data analyst who traded city chaos for a quiet house in Maplewood Grove, a neat little community tucked in a corner of Monroe County, Idaho. 3 months ago, I moved here for peace, a home office for remote work, a backyard for Rusty, my golden retriever, to chase squirrels, and neighbors who'd leave me be. The place seemed perfect, tidy lawns, shady pines, a $350 HOA fee for parks and streetlights. I'd set up my office just right, with dual monitors and noise-canceling headphones, ready to nail this project that'd make or break my promotion. Folks like Miss Ellen, a 68-year-old baker who'd drop off muffins, or Tim, a plumber who'd fix my sink for a beer, made it feel like home. But the HOA, run by Cynthia, was a different story. She was a tyrant in pearls, and my newness made me her target. It began like a splinter you don't feel till it festers. Cynthia, late 50s, had ruled the HOA for 7 years, strutting around with a smile that screamed control freak. That morning, her banging wrecked my pitch, forcing me to end the call early, my client's faces sour as I apologized. I flung open the door, and there she was, all prim gray hair and steely eyes, shoving a clipboard at me. "I need your security code, Ryan," she snapped. "No hello. No please. HOA safety protocol. You're late." I stared, floored. "My what?" "You're not getting my code." She leaned in, perfume choking the air. "It's required. You signed the covenant." I hadn't seen any such rule, and I'd read the bylaws cover to cover. "Show me the regulation," I said, voice tight. She waved the clipboard, too far to read. "It's policy. Comply or face consequences." I held my ground. "Not without proof. This is my house." Her face twisted, and she slapped a violation notice on my door, loud enough for neighbors to peek out. 24 hours, she hissed, or enforcement kicks in. As she stormed off, I knew this wasn't about safety, it was about power. Cynthia's game was a shakedown, pure and simple. She didn't just want control, she was running a racket, demanding security codes to intimidate, then locking folks out to funnel them into her brother-in-law's sleazy motel for a cut of the profits. My house, new and unbowed, was her chance to flex, betting I'd crumble under pressure to save my job. I tore the notice down, its vague charges, non-compliant security, obstructing HOA duties, reeking of lies. That night, I barely slept, every creak making me check my locks, wondering if she was watching. By morning, my worst fear hit. My key didn't work. Every door, every window rekeyed. My laptop, my files, my life trapped inside. I circled the house, gut churning, when Cynthia pulled up with 2 goons, one clutching papers, the other eyeing me like hired muscle. "You're evicted, temporarily," she said, smug as a cat with a mouse. "Noncompliance. We've booked you at Pineview Motel." I was stunned. "You can't lock me out of my own house." She smirked, handing me a motel pamphlet. "HOA covenant allows it. Officer Tate's been informed." Tate, her poker pal, useless as a screen door on a submarine. I was homeless, my career on the line, and she'd planned it all. Her scam was slick, preying on the vulnerable, newbies like me, retirees, anyone too busy or broke to fight. I grabbed my phone, ready to call 911. But her threat, accusing me of harassing HOA officials, stopped me cold. I needed my laptop for a rescheduled pitch, so I swallowed my rage and checked into Pineview. A dump that smelled like stale smoke and regret. The bed creaked like it was haunted, the AC wheezed, and 3 days later, a bill arrived, $1, $204, emergency housing, service fees, and HOA admin costs. I called to dispute it, got her secretary, who parroted, "Residents pay all displacement costs." That's when it clicked. This wasn't just bullying, it was fraud. And I wasn't going down without a fight. I headed to the library, diving into HOA laws, and found gold. Her actions broke every rule. No notice, no due process, no right to lock me out. Digging deeper, I uncovered a trail of victims, folks forced into the same motel, bled dry by fake fees. I wasn't alone, and that gave me fire. The war turned quiet, like a chess game before checkmate. I called Lisa, a nurse who'd been locked out 6 months back for noise from her night shifts. Cynthia's brother-in-law owns the motel, she whispered. They jack up rates, split the cash. Her story matched others: a teacher fined for a bird feeder, an old man for wrong blinds, all sent to Pineview. Lisa had saved emails, photos, even a recorded call with Cynthia's secretary. I'm building a case, she said, but I need more voices. I was in, my data skills itching to crack this open. I built spreadsheets, dates, victims, charges, mapping the motel's ties to Cynthia. A forgotten HOA email login gave me a jackpot. Her messages with J. Tate, her brother-in-law, plotting kickbacks, fake violations, and lockout schedules to max out motel profits. One email bragged about breaking a new resident, me. I saved every word, my anger now a cold, sharp tool. I reached out to Rachel Kim, a reporter who'd exposed HOA scams before, sending her my files. This is big, she said, voice electric. Give me a week. The showdown was a slow burn, like a fuse sizzling toward dynamite. Rachel's story dropped on a Tuesday. Headlined, HOA Tyrant's Eviction Racket Exposed. It laid bare Cynthia's fraud, fake rules, lockouts, motel kickbacks, naming victims, quoting emails, citing laws she'd smashed. Maplewood erupted. Residents flooding the HOA office with complaints, demanding Cynthia's head. I stayed at the motel, keeping low, but my phone buzzed with neighbors Tim, Miss Ellen, saying they'd been fined for nonsense, ready to talk. Cynthia didn't back down. She doubled down, showing up at my room with 2 suits, one waving new violations. Her eyes were wild. Her cool gone. You've made a mistake, Kessler, she growled, leaning close, her perfume sour. The HOA can sue for defamation. I held up my phone, an email screenshot glowing. This you? Splitting motel cash with Tate? Her face drained, voice faltering. That's out of context. I stepped forward, calm but hard. It's fraud, Cynthia. The cops have it. Rachel has it. You're done. She tried a desperate pivot, voice soft. We can fix this, Ryan. Drop the story, and you're home. I laughed cold. Too late. The truth's out. She froze, then fled. Her goons trailing like scolded dogs. The fallout was swift, like a house of cards in a windstorm. That evening, Detective Laura Bell called, her voice all business. We're investigating Hargrove for fraud, extortion, conspiracy, she said. Your evidence is gold. I gave a statement, handing over emails, spreadsheets, Lisa's recordings. They raided Cynthia's house and HOA office, seizing laptops, ledgers, proof of her scam. 2 days later, she was arrested, felony charges, years in prison looming, plus fines and restitution. Her brother-in-law got cuffed too. Pineview shuttered for health violations, its roach-infested rooms a fitting tomb for their greed. A judge ordered my locks restored. And walking back into my house felt like breathing again. My desk, my monitors, Rusty's toys, all mine. The HOA board imploded, voting Cynthia out, dissolving the old structure. A new one rose. Led by folks like Miss Ellen, transparent, no nonsense. Victims, including Lisa, filed a class action suit, chasing damages for motel bills and stress. I joined, not for money, but to make sure no one else got burned. The final act was poetic, like a villain tripping on their own cape. Weeks later, at a community meeting to pick new leaders, Cynthia showed up, bold as brass, thinking she could worm back in. She strode in, all fake smiles, but Mrs. Hayes, the interim chair, a no-nonsense retired principal, cut her off. You're banned, Miss Hargrove. Leave. Cynthia started her usual rant, authority, standards, but Laura Bell appeared, flanked by 2 cops. Cynthia Hargrove, she said, voice echoing, you're under arrest for violating bail, no HOA contact. Handcuffs clicked, and Cynthia's jaw dropped, her protests fading as they led her out, residents staring, some clapping. Mrs. Hayes cleared her throat, calm as ever. Now? About those new bylaws, the room laughed, the air lighter, and we got to work, open budgets, fair rules, no more tyrants. Life settled, like dust after a storm. I nailed my pitch, landed the contract, and got that promotion, My office humming again. Maplewood Grove changed. Neighbors waved freely, no more clipboard spies. We started a community watch, not for fines, but for real safety, Tim leading with his wrench in hand. Rusty romps in the yard, Miss Ellen's muffins still warm on my counter. The class action suits moving, promising payouts. But the real win was peace. Rachel's story spread, hitting 500,000 views, sparking HOA reform statewide. Cynthia's in jail, awaiting trial, her empire ash. But one night, Rusty growled at the window. And I found a scrawled note. You'll pay. No name, just a chill. Is Cynthia's shadow gone, or is another bully lurking? How many homes are still under siege? Tell me below, faced an HOA scam? Share if Rusty's growl or Cynthia's cuffs hit you. And let's talk taking back what's ours. Because in Maplewood, we don't just live, we stand.